story exactly as it was written. If you enjoy the video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload from Midnight Fear. Story 1. 911. Call from inside my house. True horror story. My name is Sarah, and what happened to me on the night of October 27th, 2021 is something I still can't explain. Even now, years later, I keep every door locked, every curtain closed, and I never stay home alone at night. This story began with a simple 911 call. At the time, I lived in a small town in Ohio with my 6-year-old daughter, Emily. My husband was away on a business trip, which meant it was just the two of us in the house that weekend. It was a cold autumn night. The wind rattled the trees outside, and the neighborhood was unusually quiet. Around 2:13 a.m., I woke up suddenly. I wasn't sure why. For a moment, I just lay there staring at the ceiling. Then I heard it, a loud creak. It sounded like someone had stepped onto my front porch. I sat up in bed. My heart immediately started racing. I listened carefully. Silence. Maybe it was just the house settling. Maybe it was the wind. I was about to lie back down when another sound echoed through the darkness. 3 slow knocks. Knock, 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 coming from downstairs. At 2 in the morning, I grabbed my phone and checked my security camera app. The front porch camera showed nothing. No person, no movement, nothing at all. The porch was completely empty. That should have made me feel better. Instead, it made me feel worse, because I had definitely heard the knocking. I quietly stepped into the hallway and looked toward Emily's room. She was still asleep. Good. I didn't want her waking up. As I stood there, another noise came from downstairs. This time it sounded like a door opening. Slowly, I froze. Every instinct in my body screamed that someone was inside the house. I locked my bedroom door and dialed 911. A woman answered almost immediately. 911, what is your emergency? I lowered my voice. I think someone is inside my house. The operator asked for my address. I gave it to her. She told me officers were on the way. Then she asked if I could hear the intruder. I listened. Nothing. Complete silence. The operator told me to stay on the line. A minute passed. Then 2. Suddenly I heard footsteps. Slow footsteps. Coming from downstairs. The sound echoed through the house. 1 step. Then another. The operator heard them too. Ma'am, are those footsteps? Yes. Stay calm. Officers are en route. The footsteps stopped. Then I heard something far worse. A child's laughter. Soft, quiet, coming from somewhere downstairs. My blood turned to ice. Emily was supposed to be asleep. I rushed to her bedroom. She was still in bed, still sleeping. The laughter hadn't come from her room. The operator asked what happened. I explained what I'd heard. There was a pause. Then she said something strange. Ma'am, are you sure there are only 2 people in the house? I didn't answer, because at that exact moment, I heard another sound. A phone ringing. Downstairs, inside my house. The operator suddenly became quiet. Then she asked me a question, one I'll never forget. Ma'am, is your phone the only phone in the house? Yes. The ringing continued, somewhere below me. Then it stopped. A few seconds later, the operator gasped. What is it? I whispered. The operator sounded shaken. Ma'am, another 911 call just came in. I frowned. What does that have to do with me? The operator hesitated. Then she answered. The call came from your address. I felt sick. That's impossible. I know. I looked at my phone. I was already talking to 911. There was no second phone. No one else should have been able to call. The operator transferred the recording to another dispatcher. A few moments later, she returned. Her voice sounded different. Terrified. "Ma'am, the caller isn't speaking." "What?" "There's only breathing." I couldn't move. The operator continued. "The breathing sounds like it's coming from inside a closet or a small room." Then something crashed downstairs. A loud bang, followed by running footsteps. The operator yelled for me to stay in the bedroom, but I couldn't. Emily was across the hallway. If someone was in the house, I needed to protect her. I picked up a baseball bat from the closet and quietly moved toward her room. As I entered, I saw something that nearly made me scream. Her closet door was open. I knew for a fact it had been closed earlier. The darkness inside seemed endless. I slowly approached. My hands trembled. I raised the bat. Then I yanked the door open. Nothing. The closet was empty. Just clothes, shoes, toys, nothing else. I almost laughed from relief. Then my phone speaker crackled. The operator shouted, "Get out of that room." I froze. "What?" The operator sounded panicked. "We can hear breathing." My stomach dropped. "Where?" The operator's next words changed my life forever. "Behind you." I spun around. Nothing. The room was empty. But then I noticed something. Emily's bed. The blanket hanging over the side. Something moved underneath it. Slowly, very slowly, a hand appeared. Not Emily's hand. An adult hand. Someone was under the bed. I grabbed Emily and ran. The figure exploded from beneath the mattress. I heard heavy footsteps chasing us. I slammed the bedroom door shut and locked it. The intruder began pounding on it immediately. The entire frame shook. Emily was screaming. I was crying. The operator kept telling me police were seconds away. Then everything went silent. The pounding stopped. No footsteps, no noise, nothing. A minute later, red and blue lights flashed outside. Police had arrived. Officers entered the house and searched every room. They checked under beds, inside closets, the attic, the basement, everything. But they found no intruder, no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, no evidence anyone had ever been there. The police assumed the suspect escaped before they arrived, but the nightmare wasn't over. 3 days later, a detective called me. He asked me to come to the station. When I arrived, he played the recording from the second 911 call. The call that had come from my house. At first, there was only breathing. Slow, heavy breathing. Then a voice whispered, a voice so quiet it was almost impossible to hear. The detective increased the volume. I listened carefully, and my blood froze. The voice wasn't asking for help. It wasn't crying. It wasn't scared. It was saying the same sentence over and over. He knows she's upstairs. He knows she's upstairs. He knows she's upstairs. The detective looked pale because the voice wasn't mine. It wasn't Emily's, and it didn't match any known suspect. The call ended with a loud scraping sound, then silence. To this day, police have never identified who made that call. They never found the person who was hiding inside my daughter's room, and they never discovered how a second emergency call came from my address while I was already speaking with 911. I moved away less than a month later. The house was eventually sold. The new owners stayed there for 6 months. Then they left too. According to neighbors, they claimed they heard footsteps walking through the house every night. Around 2:13 a.m., the exact same time my nightmare began. And if there's one thing I know for certain, someone was inside that house. And whatever called 911 that night wasn't trying to save us. It was warning us. The last auto. It was deep night, and a light drizzle was falling. John was returning home on the last train. After coming out of the station, he stood for a long time but couldn't find any vehicle. Finally, he saw an auto coming and raised his hand. The auto stopped. The driver's face was unclear in the fog. On the seat beside the driver, there was a woman wearing a very simple sari. It looked like she must be his wife. Otherwise, why would she sit uncomfortably in the front seat when the back was empty? John got into the auto. He sat comfortably, stretching out a bit. The auto started moving. He noticed that the driver wasn't speaking at all, just staring at the dark road ahead and driving very fast. After some time, the auto suddenly stopped at a place. A thick layer of fog covered everything. All around was white. Nothing was visible. John said irritably, "Why did you stop here? There is still a long way to go. Hurry up, it's getting late." The auto driver said, "I'll drop the wife here. Please wait a moment." The woman got down. Her head was fully covered with her sari's palu. In the fog, nothing was clearly visible. But when she stepped down, John saw something terrifying. Her feet were facing the opposite direction. John froze in fear. No words came out of his mouth. Within moments, the woman disappeared into the fog. The driver started the auto again and kept driving. Trembling with fear, John asked, "Why were her feet like that?" The driver asked while driving. "What kind?" John said, "Her feet were backward." The driver turned his head, looked at John, and suddenly started laughing in a strange way. Then he stopped the auto, sat next to John, and showed his own feet, saying, "Like this, backward." At that very moment, John woke up from sleep. He was sweating heavily. He realized he was still sitting on a bench at the station, and an auto driver was calling him, saying, "Sir, going home. This is the last auto.